7:13 now. Connecticut architect, illustrator, author, mom, Deborah Freedman is out with her first picture book for children. The name of the book is Scribble. It tells the story of two little girls, Emma and Lucy, who are sisters, and they've got kind of a scribbling rivalry going on. Hamden resident Deborah Freedman is here with us to talk about the book.
Hi, Chris.
How are you?
Good.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Architect, now children's author.
Yes.
How did you get from one to the other, or are they not at all related?
Well, I am trained as an architect, but I did stay home with my kids when they were younger, and I think doing children's books is something I've really always wanted to do since the girls were little.
Yeah.
And especially since they started drawing. And when they were really little, maybe the age of your Emma, they do these pictures, and I just thought they were so great. And I photocopied them and started doodling around them, and eventually started having the idea for doing a story around that.
Scribble is a cat that was drawn by one of your daughters, essentially. And you can understand when you look at the way children of that age, 3 or so, draw. They know what it is.
Of course they do.
But they're the only ones.
Right,
and
right.
That's kind of a neat thing. And you turn that into a story.
Well, when my girls were little, they used to spend hours at the kitchen table drawing, like a lot of children. And I love their drawings, of course, doting mother.
Sure.
But one of the things I love about children's drawings is that there's so often a story behind the drawing. And the girls would do pictures, and sometimes before they could read or write, they'd bring me the drawing, and they'd say, "Mommy, write this at the bottom. This is a kitty cat princess, and she's dancing around the maypole, and then she's going to have a picnic and eat some cake." And I, write it down. And I have stacks of drawings like that at home, these wonderful pictures with these endearing narratives at the bottom.
So in a lot of ways, it's almost like your children are the ones who are telling the stories, and you're just putting it on the paper.
Well, and the book is about two sisters who love to draw and the stories behind their drawings.
And what's kind of neat is it starts in kind of almost a comic book form with the story of the two sisters, and then the drawings take on a life of their own, and it goes from there, and that's kind of a neat thing.
Yeah.
Are there any more Scribble or other characters kind of floating around up there that you want to put in a book?
Well, I am working on things. I'm thinking about some other books, and maybe taking the same two sisters, but taking them in a completely different direction, where their imagination takes them next.
That's kind of a neat thing, to be able to use your own children as a little inspiration and use their drawings in that way. One of the things I have to ask you, and I like to ask particularly children's authors, is you mentioned that writing a children's book was kind of up there, and I think a lot of parents who have a lot of exposure with books think that.
Yeah.
How do you take that step and really make it a reality?
Well, it's hard. I mean, I spent probably almost 2 years on and off writing this book, and then another 8 or 9 months doing the final artwork. So it was harder than I thought it would be. Tinkering around and playing around with it is one thing, and then really doing it in earnest is something else. Well, but I love it.
It's a neat book. It's unique in the children's book realm, certainly, at least with my experience reading children's books.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to meet her, you can do that. A story time and book signing coming up Friday, June 8th, 7 o'clock, the Barnes & Noble in North Haven. If you want more information, you can find it there on the screen. And also, of course, you can find it on our website at WTNH.com. Deborah Freedman, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
It is now 7:17.